Hello everyone, my name is The Threat of Joy and welcome back to my channel. Today we're building in The Sims 4 and this is the Raffia Quinta lot, which is in Oasis Springs. This is the beginning of my series where I'm going to build out some different lots in Oasis Springs using only the base game. So this build is a very contemporary, kind of modern looking build. It could be a starter home, but it does not cost like one. But you could definitely start your game here and be fine. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out the roof situation. I really like the style of like roof that is with like the contemporary, more modern look, but they can be kind of hard to piece together just because the angles kind of like hit at different points, obviously. But like if you don't have the room spaced out properly, they look kind of funky. But that was something I had to really work with this build because for some reason I didn't think to push back the left side of this build until like later on, and then the roof just looks kind of messed up, but I eventually fix it and it looks a lot better at the end. So if you see the final product, you'll see that it doesn't clip and look kind of funky like it does right now. But anyway, I picked that black roof trim because I think that looks really nice with this kind of build, and then I picked the metal just roof swatch. I also think that looks great for like this type of like look. Again, struggling with the roof because I just can't put two and two together that I need to push that room back and then everything will look fine. But I eventually get there, so it's fine. Anyway, right now I am laying out the floor plan. This ends up being a 1-bedroom house, and it kind of has like a more open living room to the left side of the build. And then I think there's 2 bathrooms. One's like kind of like the ensuite kind of for the primary bedroom, and then there's one that's kind of tucked away more toward the living room. You'll see that eventually. Then they have a smaller kitchen that has an island, and then in the back I build out a like kind of like sunroom area, you'll see, but that's what I do there. I then go in and start adding in the doors and windows and things like that. This is me building out the sunroom. I really like how that turns out at the end. Once I kind of open up that area, it's not as closed off. Once I kind of am like, oh yeah, let's make that whole kind of like L-shaped area the sunroom. And I think that looks really good. But that was that room. And then I add more windows to the front just because I feel like in a lot of these type of builds, at least here in the US, there's just like a crap ton of windows, and it's very open and very like natural lighting as to like, not natural lighting. So I wanted to incorporate a lot of that. And I think that I kind of got that vibe going. I used a lot of those kind of more like, I don't know, not corporate looking windows, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the more just long and open ones, not like the classic ones. I then go out and paint the outside of the house with this like orange stucco swatch. I think it looks really good with the black roof and it makes it pop a lot. And I just really like the look of it. I don't usually use like the orange tones because I'm not really a huge fan of that color. But I think for this build and like for Oasis Springs, it kind of matches that color palette. So went with that. Then I also added those stone accents just so it wasn't just like, an orange box because that looks kind of funky. But I think the stone added a bit more interest and just kind of looks more Oasis Springsy, if that makes any sense. But did that. Now I'm moving on to the primary bedroom. I kind of wanted to keep the contemporary vibe here as well. I pick that kind of modern-esque looking bed from the base game. I picked the blue swatch just because I don't really use that one like a whole ton. And I wanted to try it out today. So I did that. I add those blackout curtains as well, just because I feel like you don't want people like staring into your bedroom. So I added those just for realism's sake. Otherwise, it would have been a great room for natural lighting. But I do that. Then I add this dresser in and a mirror. I added like a little plant there as well. I add this little plane too, just because I kind of picture whoever lives here is very like neat and meticulous. And like would have like, I don't know, maybe they do like model building type stuff. I don't know. That's kind of the person I pictured living here, or not, or it's just a decoration. It's your imagination. You can do what you want. I add this rug too, just add a little bit more to it. For some reason I thought I could layer them. That's not the case with that rug swatch. You can do it with other ones, but not that one. That one just did not work. I had these paintings too. I didn't really like them, so I ended up taking them out, and I don't think I even put anything else over there. It looks better just plain, but I do that. Then I'm using the Move Objects cheat just to kind of get things placed correctly on the dresser, but that kind of rounds out this room for the most part. I don't think it's the most interesting room, but it at least gets the job done and fits the vibe of this build, so I'm fine with it. Then I move on to the bathroom, the part that I always take forever on because I like to add a bunch of accessories and decorations to it. But I thought giving the contemporary look to the bathroom was essential as well, just to keep with the theme. I never use any of the appliances in here, or I guess appliances or plumbing. I don't know, whatever you would call it in there. But I think it turned out pretty well. The black bathtub and like the black toilet, I think are kind of fun. And same with the sink. I never use that swatch or that sink in general. It never fits into my builds, but it was nice to use it for once. But this is just the bathroom. Nothing too exciting. I had like the towel, the rug, the towel on the wall, all that type of stuff. I think I go in with just a very simple tile. Nothing crazy. And I do a white marble-y kind of look, I thought, for the bathroom walls. And then go in with a wall light to finish it off. And it's just kind of a normal bathroom. Nothing crazy about it, which, I mean, is a bathroom. You can't really do too much in here. So then I finally move on to the living room. The living room, I had a little bit of trouble with layout-wise because I wanted to have like a sofa with like a chair or a love seat, but the room was just like thin enough to be annoying, and I just go back and forth for like a good like 5 minutes trying to figure out what I'm wanting this to look like. Like, I'll expand the room and then I'll shrink it again, and then I'm like, I want a TV, and then I don't want a TV. I just kind of go back and forth, and it just doesn't fit. I eventually get there and just end up with a sofa and a chair and maybe a lamp. I don't think I even have a TV at the end of this, but kind of go back and forth here because the space is very tight, so it was just kind of hard to get it laid out. I also used a different couch and chair set than I normally do. This is not one I usually build with. I'm not usually someone who builds with the more modern or contemporary like swatches or this furniture in The Sims, just because that's not the type of vibe I go for usually when I'm playing the game. But that's what I did here. It's not that I don't necessarily like that type of furniture or anything like that. It's just not the type of games I play. I usually do more like rags to riches type things, and this stuff is usually kind of expensive or doesn't really fit the look I'm going for. So don't end up using it a whole ton. But I continue to struggle figuring out the floor plan for this for a little bit, but that's about it for this room. There's not a whole ton in here. I think I had like a plant maybe in like that lamp, but nothing crazy. But yeah, I hope everybody is having a good week so far. It is currently Tuesday when I'm recording this. Hopefully this is up by Wednesday, but I hope everyone's having a good week. My week so far has been extremely busy. I had to go home like a couple states away this weekend and visit my family, which wasn't a bad time, but the drive is long. So that took up a lot of my weekend. Then at work, everyone needed me for some reason on Monday and today, and I didn't get any of the work I wanted done. So hopefully tomorrow is better and not everyone is so helpless. Please, can everyone not be so helpless? That'd be awesome. That's my one wish for the week. Please, just let me get my work done. I have to be there 8 hours a day anyway, so just let me work, not be bugged. But yeah. I finally finish out that living space a little bit, then move over and add in a bookshelf and that kind of more avant-garde looking painting. I like that painting a lot. I don't use it a whole ton, but I added it here because I thought it looked nice and kind of matched the vibe of the build. I add another, what I would imagine is like one of those like cars you build out, or like collectible cars. I added that there because I feel like that goes with the vibe of the house too and looks nice. Then I'm building the second bathroom. This one is just a half bath, no shower or anything in here. Same appliances or plumbing, whatever, as the primary bathroom. But yeah, that's essentially it. I use the same exact wallpaper and flooring and all that stuff. I think I even use the same lighting, and add that in there. Yes, I do. But yeah, that's about it for that. Nothing too crazy. But now I'm moving on to the kitchen area, or I'm trying to kind of figure out where I'm wanting it. It goes into that left corner in this room right here. Nothing too fancy. It's a very small kitchen, but they do have like the upgraded appliances, so that's a plus, I guess. But just have a few counters, a sink. I have the stove. Nothing crazy. I added the upper cabinets as well, and then, the fire alarm, the vent, all that kind of stuff. But move on to that. I added that sliding door too, just to the back, just because I feel like that would fit there. It wouldn't just have like a regular door. But add that in. I moved this door over just because I felt like that space was kind of awkward and I needed to add something over there. So I moved the primary bedroom's door over to the other side so I could add like a table there. Or I was originally going to put the bar, but that didn't work. So I scooched it over here, and I think it looks a lot better now, or fits a lot better than it did, but I do that. I eventually move over the bar and bar stools, like over a little bit. I thought I was going to put a table here originally, but then I was like, oh, I can just put the bar there. So I put the bar back. So I put that there and use the more kind of modern looking bar stools with that. And that kind of finishes up the kitchen. I add like the trash can, and then later on I'll add like all the decorations and things like that. And then that's basically it for over here. I add the overhead lights, those like that like 3 little like light situation. I don't know. That one, I add that in, but I was originally going to put 2, but I only added 1 because it looked better, and I felt like it was very, like, too close together and too crowded with the 2, but I chose that. Then I add in this kind of side table just to add some more interest and wasn't so empty in there. I add, I believe, a plant and maybe, or something, and then I think I add one of like the model train things. Yeah, I was originally going to put 3 of them, but it didn't want to cooperate with me, and I thought it looked kind of odd. But I add that blue train, and then I add like this weird, I don't know, dead plant, modern looking thing over here, because a lot of those contemporary builds always have those. Especially if you look like on Zillow and things like that. I feel like every time I look at these kind of houses just for like inspiration, they've got that dead plant. That dead plant is there and she's ready to go. She's always there. She's ready. But have that. It's there. I head back over to the kitchen and add the missing upper cabinet because for some reason I just didn't put it there for some reason. I add the fire alarm or smoke alarm, and then add in the sink and then all the other different decorations I'm wanting over here. I feel like I use the same ones every time because I do. I use like the little utensil cup. I have the paper towels, maybe a fruit bowl. I think I do use it. Yep, the fruit bowl in this build. Nothing crazy. I just like to put the bare minimum because you need the counter space when you're playing. So you can't put like a whole ton, but that kind of wraps up the kitchen. I finally moved to the backyard, which is probably my favorite part of this whole build. Ignore me adding little pieces of water to the front. Those in this little back area, that eventually gets taken out, and I put plants in, and it looks a lot better. I thought the water, I could do something with it, but it did not look the way I was wanting it to, so I just go back to plants, and it looks a lot better. I decided to add a pool because it's Oasis Springs, and I feel like if you don't have a pool, like, that would kind of suck because it's so warm here. But I add that in, and it's kind of like that more not round shape, but like a different shaped pool than like a rectangular one. But add that in. Then I add the lounge chairs, and then I think I might add an umbrella. I don't think I do. But I add those in, and that kind of like is basically it for the backyard. There's not a whole ton of room to put anything because this is a super tiny lot. I think it's like 20 by 15 or something, or 30 by 15. It is not a big lot. But anyway, I am now moving over to do the landscaping. So I like imagine this is like one of those like dugout little areas by the house that you could put plants into. And then I just add a bunch of like cactus and flowers and stuff like that. I do it for this part of the house and the front. It's all basically the same. So once I finish these up, I will take you guys into the actual build so you can see the final product. But this is a pretty simple build, nothing too crazy. But yeah, this is basically all the landscaping. It's just me building out different plants, nothing crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna take you guys into the build so we can look around and see how it turned out. Okay, so this is the final build. I think it turned out pretty well. So here's the outside, nothing too fancy. I added some exterior lights by the front door, added the more modern looking mailbox. Like I said, went in and did basically the same landscaping that I did in the back and the front. Just a bunch of cactus and more of like those desert plants. But added those in, same on this side. Then if we go in, I didn't add this in the video, but added the coat rack, shoe rack, the welcome mat. Nothing too crazy. Then over here we've got like a picture on the wall. Added that in as well. Then we've got the primary bedroom. Not really anything too fancy, but got like the modern bed, the blue bed, and then the contemporary lights. Very, very simple bedroom. We've got like the plant over here, the airplane, books. I feel like this person's very neat and organized who lives here, but that's kind of that. Then if we go out to this main area, we've got the bar, and then we got the kitchen. We got like the knife rack, and I added like the updated appliances, cabinets. Pretty standard kitchen, but there's that. Then over here we've got the living space. So I always like this light. I use it in like all of my builds, no matter what, but I use that light a lot. Added it here. Then I have like a book stack. Got that kind of like avant-garde artsy rug over here, and then the contemporary couches. Then over here we got the bookshelf with the model car and the plant. We got the painting, and we got the bonsai tree over here, just another skill building item because I don't feel like there's a whole ton in this house. But then over here we got the bathroom. Pretty standard, nothing crazy going on here over here. Then, oh, I forgot to paint this wall. We probably should do that. Did I get on this side too? Hopefully. Nope. Okay. That's fixed. You guys didn't see that. But that's that. And then over here, we've got like the sunroom. So I needed more skill building items. So I added the wood working table. And then I added like the bulletin board just because, I don't know, add something over there. Maybe that's where they keep track of their projects. Just act like that's where it is. But that's there. There's a plant over here. I added the chess table tool as well. And this light just because I feel like, I don't know, just something fun. Then out here, we've got the pool, and then the lounge chairs, and then the telescope. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And if you would like to download this house on the gallery, my gallery ID is thethreatofjoy, and you can download it today. It should be up and pinned on my page, I believe. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.